that time. So I'm just saying that I feel like there hasn't really been growth. No real growth, no real motivation for change. And it's quite alarming, really, because you would think as people grow, they mature, but it's almost like Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Time. My name is Hallie, so grateful to have you all. Let's get right into this reading. I'm really excited to be doing this. Somebody recommended that I do this. I was a little apprehensive just because Leonardo Caprio, I wouldn't say I have a history with him, but I've met him several times and they weren't the best interactions, but that was many years ago, so I've let it go. It's just very interesting to me that I see a pattern in his relationships that we'll talk about. So this is him with his current girlfriend. I'm doing a reading on him and his current girlfriend, Vittoria Ceretti. And yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, Vittoria Ceretti. Please subscribe. Please like the video. Please make sure if you liked it, you share it with other people. It's always nice when people say, oh, I shared this with my cousin or whomever, because I thought they would like it. So yeah, just putting it out there. Okay. Excuse me, let's get into this reading. I have a lot of readings coming up every first Thursday of the month. I do readings only for members on a member live, so check that out. There are many other great perks to becoming a member, so check that out too. Okay, so I pre-shuffle the cards. I'm using the Pix du Soleil Tarot. Actually, to get a new tarot deck soon, hopefully by the end of October, excuse me. No, the end of September. 3 hours September. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to read you the birth charts. Leonardo DiCaprio, his sun is in Scorpio, moon is in Libra, rising is in Libra. He totally gives me Libra vibes, honestly. Other than being a Scorpio, we'll get into it. A lot of Libra men, in general, give very player vibes. They like to stay young. Actually, I had this mentor a long time ago, and he said that he was a little out there, but he said that he wasn't really a mentor, excuse me. I thought of him as a mentor, but I watched a lot of his YouTube channels, and his name is Sant Boni, and he spoke about how, each of the zodiacs represents an angel, which is so fascinating because there are 12 major archangels, there are 12 zodiac signs, and he said that who is it? Michael, Angel Michael. Not Michael. Who was the one that became Lucifer? Excuse me, Angel Lucifer, because Lucifer was an angel before he became the devil, and he says that over time he progressed, and Capricorn represents the devil. But long story short, he said that Libra is Lucifer, and the dark side of Libra is narcissism, vanity, ruled by Venus. Comes across very innocent, but is actually quite sneaky. It's very fascinating. I recommend checking out Sant Boni. I'm not just saying that about Libras. Some of you that watch my channel know how I feel about Libras. I'm not just saying that about Libras. Every sign has its thing, but it's just fascinating that he said that about Libras, and that's what I see in Leonardo DiCaprio. I see that Luciferian energy a lot. a lot. Okay, so Vittoria Ceretti, so you're saying Italian. Her sun is in Gemini, her moon is in Scorpio. I don't really know where she's from. I just know she's a sun in Gemini, moon in Scorpio, which is very interesting to me because I get very sneaky energy too. I love Scorpios. It's one of my favorite signs. I know not a lot of people like it, but what I absolutely love about Scorpios, they do have their shadow side. I'm not going to take that away from them, but I, as a sun and a Chris, I'm a very upfront person. I don't like sneaky people. And Scorpios, for the most part that I found, are very upfront, If you do them wrong, they do you wrong back. If you're kind to them, they're very upfront. You won't get any sneaky. And I'm interested, if you've had any sneaky experiences with Scorpio, please let me know. Even though relationships wise we don't match, but friendships we gel very well because we know exactly, we're very loyal, and we can read right through BS. I can see right through someone's BS, just like Scorpios, you know. But my Pluto is also Scorpio, so that could be why. But yeah, so that's what I get. Like, she hides things from him and he wants to kind of unlock it. That's the energy that I get. So I pulled up the past, the present, and the future. So the past, I get 7 of Cups, and that indicates to me that there was a lot of like, oh, I want to take you out. She was like, no. Just having a memory when I met him, just triggered something. And she was like, no, I'm not really interested. I don't want to be like the other girls. But with the present, 6 of Pentacles, I think she put on an act. I think she knew exactly what she's getting into. He is double her age, and I'm not saying it happens all the time. I've dated somebody double my age, so it's nothing bad. But I was in my 30s when I dated somebody double my age, and I was in my I was in my 30s. I just turned 30. She's 25. Now, I'm not saying this for everybody, but in your 20s, there tends to be, a lot of people, including myself, it's a very lost phase. You tend to be very, not grounded in reality, and I'm not saying it for everybody, because like I said, some people, they're able to be more mature. Even though I was mature, I still feel like in my 30s, I see a huge difference between when I was in my 30s and my 20s. So I see here that her motive, it's very monetary. Same thing with him. He knows what he signs up for when he gets into these relationships. And it's to be photographed, it's to be seen with like a attractive model, that type of energy. Yeah. So that's what I get. It's very money based. Very, you come with me, instead of, and I think he kind of figured out a formula, because, when I used to be a model, other models would tell me I wasn't really that kind of girl. I'm not saying that there is a type of girl that fits into that, but when other models would tell me stories about them hang out at these clubs or so forth, it was always attached to like an older businessman from Dubai, or like an older businessman from this. So I think he's come up with a formula of having a younger model attached to him, and he dates so that he looks younger. He doesn't have to hire escorts, and he still has company with him, So it's kind of like a tit for tat, and it's definitely rooted in finances. So with the future being Page of Cups, I see very strongly kind of like, I don't know, I just don't see him really settling down. I feel like he's one of those people that's going to be, I can't believe he's almost 50. Next year I'll be 50. Not that age really matters, because, to each their own. But it's just interesting to me that he has had no real long-term girlfriend, no real desire to be married. He's never been married, right? Not that I can remember. Not that he has to, but it's just interesting that over 20 years, he's had the same pattern of relationships, And it doesn't really matter, physicalities aside, behavior matters. Behavioral patterns indicate to us who our character is, And he's constantly with younger women, and I do have a story about when I met him. When I met him quite a while ago, a few times. That kind of reminds me, and that was 2012 when I met him. It was a string of times. But it's just interesting to me that I have matured. I'm only saying I because that was when I met him. There's been a huge difference between my patterns of life and his. And I'm only comparing it because I met him 12 years ago. and doesn't seem like much has changed, you know. No, it wasn't 2012, it was 2014, because it was around the Met Gala when when Solange kicked Jay-Z in the elevator. So yeah, I remember around that time. So I'm just saying that I feel like there hasn't really been growth, you know, no real growth, no real motivation for change. And it's quite alarming, really, because you would think as people grow, they mature, but it's almost like it's Peter Pan syndrome, and that's very characteristic of prominent Libra placements. Yeah. So with well-being being the star, this seems to me, not well-being, but the general energy. This seems to me like the energy of the relationship is very much about publicity. And rising in Libras, my rising is either in Libra or Virgo. I feel like I match the Libra, even though the time that I was given when I was born, it says Virgo. It's almost like the cusp of Virgo and Libra. I really lean more towards Libra. And rising in Libras, a lot of famous people are rising in Libras. And rising in Libras tend to have wants to be seen. Rising in Libras and rising in Virgos, not Virgos, Leos, tend to want to be seen on camera, tend to want to be seen in public, tend to want to be the star, which even though it's the Aquarius card, tend to want to be the star, have the focus on them. That's why a lot of famous people are rising in Libras. A lot. Many. I think the most risings actually are rising in Libra. So let's see what the outcome of the relationship will be. But it's going to be very like flirtatious, pictures on the yacht, typical. She's going to get a few brand deals. She might even want to star in like a movie. He's promised her a lot, but some of it he won't deliver. A lot of it he won't deliver. But let's see. What will be the outcome of this relationship? Okay, Judgment. So ending very abruptly. We're going to hear, I get April, the Empress, Ace of Swords. She's either going to speak out about it in April, it's going to end in April. But April, we're going to get news about this relationship. And the Empress, Ace of Swords, she is very focused on her when it ends. That she's going to be like, that's it. I think, you know, and I've had some experience with the Sun in Scorpio. I dated a famous Sun in Scorpio, and so I'll get too much into it, but I wouldn't say caught, but I found out that he was not faithful, and that's when I decided to end it. And it gives me the same energy. I feel like a lot of male Sun in Scorpios tend to give off this energy of, they can often be very jealous, and if you make them jealous, instead of dealing with their own emotions, they make you jealous back. And sometimes that making you jealous back, they want to make you suffer. You know, I don't know if any of you have experienced that. I would love to hear if you've experienced that, but they tend to want to get you back, you know, want to get even. And I get that, but you can't live your relation, you can't be in a healthy relationship with wanting to get the other person even, because it's not about scores, you know. So yeah, that's what I have for you. It's going to end very abruptly. She's going to be very mad. All of a sudden, it's going to be like a cut off of each other. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to have to say, so please let me know. Take care.